Most people dread product manager interviews because they're very subjective. In every PM interview, there's a section where they ask you a product design question. Many interviewees blank out because they don't know how to structure their answer. The interview ends up being an hour-long ramble where both parties know the outcome before the interview even ends. Today, I'm gonna make sure you don't have to sit through an interview like that. I'll share with you my cheat sheet that got me a PM job at Microsoft. By the end of this video, you'll learn how to organize your thoughts in a product design interview by answering 5 simple questions. This will make sure you ace your product manager interviews and land your dream job. On this channel, we always give you tips and tools on how to fast-track your career in the tech industry. So if you're new to our channel, please subscribe. Let's do this. Before we go any further, it's important to know why this cheat sheet is so powerful. In a product design interview, the interviewer is evaluating not only your product sense, but they also want to see your communication skills. They want to know if there's a structure to how you think and if you can word your thoughts concisely. And this is exactly what this cheat sheet will do for you. It will help you solve the problem while staying organized in your answer. I cracked PM interviews with 4 different companies using this cheat sheet, and I hope that you will have the same success. To ace your product design interview, you just need to answer 5 simple questions about the product. It's that easy. Number 1, what is the objective of the product? Why are we building it? Next, who is going to use our product? For example, is it a student or a senior? Number 3, what are users' major pain points? Why don't they like the current state of the product? 4, what product features can solve the user's needs? And lastly, how would we know if we solve user pain points if we launch these features? We'll dive into them one by one. So we'll start by determining the goal of the product first. This will make sure we're on the same page as the interviewer. One of the most common mistakes interviewees make in a product design interview is this. Right after they're given the question, they immediately jump into the solutioning. Always ask clarifying questions to understand the scope of the problem. Some interviewers purposely keep the question vague and open-ended to see if you will put any effort into understanding the problem better. That's because as a PM, you're expected to do your own user research, to discover user problems, articulate them well, then build the most effective solutions to solve them. After clarifying the problem, talk about possible goals for the product. For instance, are you trying to get more people to use it, or do you want to increase engagement of existing users? Give your reasoning for choosing a particular objective for the product. Now that we know why we are building the product, we need to figure out who will be using our product. And this is a very important step, because users determine the function as well as the look and feel of a product. The same product when built for kids would be very different from the one that's meant for young adults. I once asked my manager why she didn't hire a seemingly perfect candidate on paper. Her reasoning was quite simple. The candidate had no user empathy because they didn't ask any questions about the product users. For a PM, it's imperative to understand the users. What is their age group? Are they kids, teenagers, adults, or seniors? What do these users do for a living? Are they students, office workers, or retired? What are some of the most important characteristics of these users? Do they look for bargains, or are they luxury buyers? Using all this information, build a persona for the product users, then discuss with your interviewer the choices you made to build this persona to get feedback. So you figured out who's gonna use your product. Next step is to identify the major pain points of your users. This is the step where you can showcase your user empathy by stepping into the shoes of the user. Think about the product gap for the user with the persona you just built. What are the use cases the current product is not able to serve? List them out and start prioritizing them. For prioritization, think about the goal of the product and impacts you can have by solving the pain point. Pick some focused pain points or use cases from the top of the prioritized list. We'll try to solve as many of them as possible, but these will be our main focus. Remember to communicate your reasoning and finalize list of prioritized use cases to the interviewer. Now coming up, I'll walk you through the 2 most important questions you need to answer to crack the product design interview. If you watch this video till the end, I also have a bonus tip for you to leave a lasting impression on your interviewer. So stay tuned for that. But first, like this video and let us know in the comments down below what other topics do you want us to cover in the coming videos. Now that we have that out of the way, let's continue our discussion. Knowing user pain points is no good if a PM doesn't know how to solve them. So in the next step, we'll come up with solutions to solve the customer pain points we've already listed. This is where we actually dive into the answer. Think about the product features that can solve the pain points from the last step. One feature can solve multiple pain points. Great solutions solve many pain points at once while achieving the goal we set for our product. Don't be afraid to think out of the box and share solutions that may not be feasible with currently available technologies. This will make you come across as an innovative or creative PM. Once you have a list of multiple solutions, prioritize them. There are many frameworks that can help you prioritize your solutions. You can weigh them based on their desirability, feasibility, and viability. Great solutions sit at the intersection of the 3. Another way to prioritize can be based on impact versus efforts. Here, the interviewers want to see solutions with high impact, so the solutions that fall in easy wins and big bets are preferred. As always, communicate clearly and concisely while giving reasons for all your assumptions and choices. So let's say you built features for your product and ran experiments to see if the users like it. How would you know if these features are any good? In other words, how would you measure the success of your product? By far, the easiest way to pick metrics for your product is to use Google's Heart Framework. The Heart Framework provides us with metrics across 5 categories. First is user happiness. These metrics help measure whether users find the product helpful, fun, and easy to use. Metrics for measuring user happiness include Net Promoter Score, customer satisfaction rating, and reviews. To measure user happiness for this video, I would track likes on this video and read your comments. Second category is user engagement metrics. These metrics measure whether the users engage with the product on a regular basis. Metrics for measuring user engagement include daily active users, average session length, and average session frequency. Next comes adoption rate of users. These metrics measure the proportion of users who complete the product's onboarding process and become regular users. Adoption metrics include download rate and registration rate. For this YouTube channel, the adoption metric to track would be the number of subscribers. Next category is retention. These metrics measure whether users keep coming back to your product. Retention metrics include churn rate and subscription renewal rate. Last category is task success. These metrics measure whether users can complete their goal quickly and easily. Task success metrics include search exit rate and crash or error rates. Task success for this YouTube channel would be measured by how many of you manage to achieve your career goals by watching our videos. Now that you have all these metrics at your disposal, pick metrics based on the goal you decided at the beginning of the interview. Always give your reasoning for why you're choosing a particular metric. As promised, it's time for the bonus tip. What differentiates a senior PM from a junior PM is a long-term vision for the product. To demonstrate your vision for the product, discuss the product roadmap with the interviewer. Here, talk about where you would go with the product after launching your features. What customer research would you do? What would you iterate on to improve the product further? How would you deal with competitors' strategies? Before you start giving PM interviews, it's very important to know what a PM really does. This will not only help you answer the interview questions, but it will also help you learn if the PM role is right for you. To understand what a PM really does, you can watch this video. See you in the next one. Au revoir!